and then it's up to you to mix it all up.
What is the appropriate amount of money to spend on lunch?
Under $15.
I'd say like 10 or less.
10 or less, you're not getting shit for you like Taco Bell.
We're getting like those McChickens from last time.
Like you're 10 or less. You can't even get like a quarter pounder with cheese at the Shane Burger for less than $10.
You told me not to let you call it Shane Burger anymore. Is there a
I'm
reason
supposed to
why?
get slapped. Don't
I'm
do
not-
it.
Okay, I'm gonna do it. Sorry, Tim. I'd say under 10. Under 10 would be ideal.
Are you gonna Google real quick the
No.
average cost of a
I'm gonna set a
lunch?
timer.
Oh, I could do that.
I got it.
No, I mean I'm gonna Google
Oh,
average cost of a lunch, but average cost for
Tim, if you opened a restaurant, what would you open?
Mexican.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Would you be the cook,
I would.
or would you just do all the branding?
I would not. No, I wouldn't do any. I would hire somebody to do that shit. Yeah, I would. I would do. I would do Mexican food because I love Mexican food.
What would you call it?
Tim's Mexican food. Or I don't know.
Why'd I
like-
even fucking bother to ask?
I don't know what kind of clever name you were thinking I
Yeah.
had like locked and loaded for
Yeah.
that, but no.
Well, you answered the other question so fast, I figured you had something in the queue.
I mean, that's as far as I've gotten with that
Okay.
with that thought process. Now, the average cost for a meal is $13. That's an average cost for a meal for lunch.
That's
$13
rough.
Rinos. That is rough. That's what's 13 times 5? That's a lot. It's 50 something, 60 something dollars. Yeah, I know. You just went cross-eyed.
per week.
Yeah.
Okay, so if I opened up a restaurant,
Uh-huh.
I think we would just serve like Kraft mac and cheese.
Oh my God. So
and then like
you
and then
would-
sprinkle some oregano on top so it looks gourmet.
so
But food always tastes better when it's served by somebody else anyways. So that's the whole
this is true. I make breakfast burritos I try to every weekend for my
Okay.
wife because she loves them.
yeah.
All it is just potatoes, bacon, cheese, egg, and a tortilla.
Yeah.
Right. And hot sauce. Nothing fancy. But if I make too much, I usually try to divvy out the leftovers to the kids, like a la carte, So
Okay.
they don't like the burrito. Like my daughter, she's really picky. She won't eat a burrito, but she'll take a burrito apart and eat each ingredient individually. Now
She likes to make the burrito in her mouth then.
in her stomach, really, because
Okay.
she'll only eat she'll only eat the hash browns by themselves. You know what I mean? So, like if there's leftovers and they're not interested, then I'll make another burrito for myself and I'll eat it, and it's not very good. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
But if she makes the burrito, same ingredients, I'm like,
Same
this
order.
same order, everything. I'm like,
It's
this
on
is the best.
Sunday.
This is the best thing I've ever eaten in my life.
So I think that's the reason why we'd call my restaurant like at least you didn't make it.
Yeah, we made your food for you.
Yeah. And that automatically takes you up a star or two.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
because you made the food.
Yeah.
You're providing a service, even though it's just Kraft mac and cheese.
I would make burritos, and they'd be 95% rice,
Oh
and
my
then
God.
5% the stuff you actually want in it, like
They
steak,
like a rice burrito with
chicken,
like 2 pieces of steak,
and a little bit of
a sprinkle of
guacamole
cheese, and like they don't even put guacamole in there. They just show the burrito
on the
to-
side.
No, they show the burrito to the guacamole.
Yes.
Like they introduce each other, but they don't actually like
It absorbs
combine.
some of the flavor.
It
Yeah.
it's osmosis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's my restaurant.
Okay.
Pretty
Yeah, I
good,
probably
right?
wouldn't go there. I'm just gonna be honest with you.
Well, we serve Mexican food sometimes too.
How do you like sometimes? I've seen those restaurants, those high-end restaurants, right? They don't have a menu or nothing. You just
No,
go there and
Correct,
like
and it's
you-
like
you-
whatever the
you're-
chef's feeling, and
whatever-
if he's
yeah.
really depressed that day, man, let me tell
Yeah,
you.
mac and cheese with oregano.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he didn't come to work, and all of his like
He's
all the sous chefs
crying
and all the
over the top of the mac and cheese while he stirs it.
they don't even know how to make the food, so they have to they get
We only hire sad chefs as well, because they're the chefs that know how to cook.
So you go to like
Food that makes
you
you
go to
feel
like
good.
depression and anxiety meetings, and you're like, chef.
Yeah.
You're a chef. Come
We,
with
and
me.
we actually source all of our bartenders from AA meetings.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
they know how to party.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It can get a little rough.
So that got me on the train of thought of like plumbers
Okay.
for some reason. I don't know why. And then I started thinking about this morning. I was driving to work and there was a plumber van, right?
Okay.
And the name of on the side of the van in like bubbly letters was Flush Time, and like and like the slogan line was "You clog, we flush" or something like that. I'm like, but it's all white and like nice and pretty looking. But I'm like, this guy literally
Handles shit.
handles shit for a living.
Yeah.
Like his whole job is people with massive shits that clog up the pipes, and he just comes through with his Roto-Rooter or whatever the fuck he's got in his,
Yeah.
just goes to
And
town.
undoes it.
Yeah, and undoes the
That'd be a pretty crappy job.
It would be literally.
How much an hour for you to do that, Tim? For you, like not diagnosing, like you are just
Like you're the hammer.
There
You're
is
the hammer in this
you're
situation.
an apprentice. You are the hammer. You are the guy who like the
You're in-
toilet
you're
is
in-
clogged. Tim.
You're in it.
Get the snake out. Get the
I'd say $40 an hour.
40 an hour.
Yeah.
I think I'd aim a little higher than that. Tim,
Really?
To be honest, yeah.
Well, they have like that's like a plumbers are considered like a what do they call them? Not labor jobs, but like
A skilled
a
technician.
skill tech. Yeah, and they got those guys get like I know electricians get paid bank,
They do.
but they're also not dealing with shit.
They aren't.
So and I think that dealing with shit probably might bump that number up more than I reckon. What do you
I think
think?
I'd sit at
60?
like no. I think I'd sit at like 80. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that.
$80 an hour. But then again, like how long will it take to unclog?
Listen,
a
if
toilet?
it's my own toilet, I'll plunge it. If it's your toilet, I'm not getting anywhere near that, Tim.
So you ever like with roommates or whatever, you go to the bathroom and you lift up the lid and there's just a massive baby arm shit just chilling, and you're like, what the fuck?
Okay.
And you go to flush it and you're like, now you realize why
They didn't.
it didn't
'Cause
go
now it's
down
your
because
problem.
the toilet's clogged and the water's rising and there's a giant fucking log.
I think in a public restroom, it's your job to make sure that your shit gets flushed down.
Yeah.
Like sometimes
you
in the,
can't just like throw your hands up and walk out. Is
No.
what you're saying.
sometimes in the morning, like when I go to Western,
Mm-hmm.
when I go to get my exercise in, that caffeine catches up with me.
Yep.
And first thing I do before the lift is go and use the bathroom,
Yeah, because you don't want to be lifting and then having
and
like
then have to
yeah.
leave and then come back. I've
Yeah.
done that before. It just sort of wrecks the whole thing.
Mhm.
But sometimes I gotta double flush it. I'll be honest.
You got double
Sometimes-
flushers?
Sometimes you're halfway through and you're like, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna like."
The ones that crack me up is like if you're in a public bathroom and you're playing. You ever played battle shits before? So like you're
No.
like next to somebody. And
No, this
they-
is the thing.
yeah, it's battle shits, and you like
Bullshit.
so you're sitting there and they go, they rip one and then you rip one and you go back and forth, and
Have you done that?
I mean it happens accidentally. It's not like you sit down and you announce it like when you sit
You
down.
don't
You're
like shake the guy's
yeah,
hand.
you're like under the stall thing. You're like
You ready? Yeah,
uh,
I'm good. Okay.
I challenge you to battle shits.
Rock paper scissors. All right, you go first.
But you can't see what he's got, so he's lying, anyway. So yeah, but
He had a spicy Chinese. The
there
day
was
before.
there was one. I can't remember where I was. I think it was a truck stop or something. It was urgent, the situation,
Okay.
and so I'm in there, and you can see the dude's shoes under the stall next to me,
Mm-hmm.
which is also weird to me. Like I don't know if you're like if there's a multiple stall bathroom, and you walk in and there's somebody already in there, like pounding one out. Like, do you like sit down and go, or do you like go find somewhere else?
No,
You-
you got to. You got to go. You got to go. I'm not. Waiting.
What if it's not like but you're not in a situation where like
I'm not like a. I'm not a person who's scared of that like public shit or public piss.
yeah,
Like if all the urinals there's like man code, right?
Right.
Every other one is taken.
Mhm.
I'll be like, fuck it. Like I gotta piss.
but now
And-
you're breaking the man code
Yeah.
by going in the middle.
But I really don't give a shit.
Okay.
Like I have to piss, and I'm never gonna see any of these guys or their dicks anywhere else again.
Oh golly,
So.
okay. So
And same thing with shitting. I'm walking into the stall. I have two things to tell you after this, but go
Okay.
on.
well, my point is that like you're in these bathrooms and you're sitting down on the toilet and there's a dude sitting down on the toilet and like there were some places in the Army that we didn't have even the divider. It was just like, and it was a wooden, it was basically a wooden outhouse with 3 holes in it. And like, we tried to give each other space, but sometimes, you know, like you said, it's time. And so you're in there shitting with another dude, and it's just like conversation like we're having right now, but you're shitting. And it's 1,000.
Really?
Yeah, it's 1,000 degrees out, and you're both sweaty and miserable. And but you've been with this guy, you've known like specifically. There's a few times where it was like
See, this is a little weird to me. The conversation while taking the dump
Yeah,
is a little odd.
yeah, that's something that happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then but the other thing is that like as I got out of the Army and realized that like I don't have to do that ever again. Like I purposely like will not, if I see somebody in the bathroom like already if it's a 2-staller and there's somebody already in there, I'll wait.
What about shitting in an airport bathroom? A busy
That's
airport
like that's
bathroom?
usually like like airport bathrooms, or even just like you go to Walmart, like you're like it never fails. Whenever I go to Walmart, I gotta shit. I don't know what the deal is with that. It's like a Pavlovian problem, but like,
Yeah.
but like, it just seems like every time we go to Walmart, I'm like, God damn it, I got to shit. Like, I think it's just the logo makes me mad and want to.
I just gotta crap my pants.
Yeah, now I just got to shit about it. So, but the problem is you got the divider, right? And if you think about it for a second, you're like, all that's separating you and this complete stranger who's like trying
butt-ass
to
naked.
like wasn't silent shitting before you came in. But now you're there, and he's like, how do I do this without, like, making a lot of noise? Because all of a sudden, it's fucking dead silent in there. You could drop a pin, and you're like, everybody can hear it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, and then there's some people that would just come in and just blow the back off the toilet. They're just like, you're like, holy fuck. But then now you're like, okay, it's kind of like a sniper timing his shots with thunder.
Yes. You're hoping that like the airplane starts taking off, and you're like,
wait,
thank God.
like when the air dryer comes on, when they're drying their hands, that's what I'm just gonna, that's when I'll just let it rip.
I can, I'll say I do aim if I'm peeing in, like if I'm taking a shit.
Yeah.
And you're already sitting down, right?
Yeah,
And you got to
yeah.
take a piss.
Mhm.
Like I'll aim for the edge of the toilet,
Mm.
you know, so it's like less harsh.
Mhm.
What's the word for it? So it's not as loud.
Yeah. Okay, so you don't like
Just maybe out of
the
politeness.
sound of pee hitting the toilet for you is not good.
No, I'm fine with it, and I don't really care. I think it's just like a matter of politeness. I don't know. I don't know where that came from because
I don't know. Like I don't know. Me not trying to emit sounds in the bathroom is considered polite and more like self-conscious. Because
Okay. Yeah.
Because I'm more like I don't want this dude next to me to know that I ate like
Gotcha.
4 bean burritos.
I don't want this
I've
guy
made horrible
next to me
choices in my
to-
life.
to think that I just sat down and peed.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe that's why I peed at the edge of the bowl. Why don't bathroom stalls go all the way to the ground?
Oh, you mean like the doors and all that? They do in
Yes.
Europe.
Europe's doing it right.
They got it figured out.
They got one
And,
thing figured out.
And there's a couple of quick trips and a couple places along the way that like in different
that have the full walls.
Yeah.
Yes.
and it's just like you know when
It's a
like
cubicle.
like an outhouse, right? When you get in and you lock the door, it says occupied.
Yes.
And it's like
Smart.
how fucking simple is that?
Yes.
And like I don't know who's like got to see the feet. Like nobody wants to see the feet when you're like going like
Yeah.
that's what,
You
I
don't
know
need
that, I
to
know that,
see the shoes to know it's occupied.
also
you
the-
just add a little lever that
yeah,
says it.
and also the little latch door locks that are on
Turns
the stalls. Yeah, but I mean like the ones that are on there now, you know, they're like half the time you're
Oh,
like,
yeah.
oh my god, do I have to like shit with my foot pressed against the door because
just thinking the
this
same
door
thing,
because
yes.
this door won't
'Cause
close.
it's swinging open, and
Right.
the first child or like
Yeah, they're just gonna come barging in.
yes,
Yeah.
and then I'm sitting down, fucking pants around my ankles, like
Well, the bathroom that's here in the office just has that little push button right on the
Yeah.
door handle.
yep.
And I'm like, the first few times I went in there, I walked in, I pushed the button, it made the noise, the clicky noise, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's one of those knobs where if you turn it, it
It
pops back
undoes,
out.
yeah.
So you have like no real sense of
There's no
security.
guarantee.
Yeah, that you've done this correctly, especially if it's your first few times. Like you go in there, you push the button, you're like, okay, and it's a grip. It's a good like 4 feet from the door
Yeah.
to the shitter.
Yeah.
So like if somebody comes busting in, you're just there. That's it. Like fucking enjoy the show because it's gonna be a party for nobody. So anyways, yeah, that's my thing. Like they have in Europe they have the doors that go all the way to the floor.
That's how it should be.
Yeah, even with our bathroom here, I think you could even have one of the little do not disturb,
Yes.
you know, one of those things on there.
Like a
Yeah.
pooping,
And
not
not
pooping.
pooping. Yeah, or just like in use
so that it doesn't actually
or not
accidentally
in
open.
use, right?
I'm gonna tell you about my most awkward experience at an airport bathroom.
Oh boy.
And this is I think this was in Atlanta, which is one of the busiest airports in the
Yeah,
US.
that's a big place.
I had to shit really bad.
Yeah.
And so I went in and I sat down on this toilet,
Mm-hmm.
and there's shoes like left and right.
Yeah,
right?
you're in the middle of it. You're
And I sit down. They have those toilet covers. I put
Yeah,
the toilet cover
yeah.
on.
so you're being cautious.
I'm taking a shit, right?
Yeah.
And I'm wiping my ass, and the guy next to me
Yeah.
drops his phone
Oh no. In
and
the
he's
toilet?
he's watching porn.
Oh, he's watching porn in the toilet.
Yes.
Oh wow, that's embarrassing for him.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. So I
And then, what are you supposed to do?
I thought I would be funny. So
Oh, no.
I didn't say or do anything.
Oh,
I just
no.
fucking finished, right?
Yeah.
I finished taking a shit.
But he knows that you know.
I got up. I eyed his shoes.
Oh.
And
And
I
so
was like-
you know like when he comes out.
I'm gonna wait and find out who
Yeah,
this
well,
motherfucker
yeah.
is.
Who's got the shoes?
I never spotted him.
What kind of shoes were
He
they?
must have never finished.
Were they like? Oh yeah, he's like, he's still in there.
Yeah, he
he's
might
still
be
in there today.
Yeah, they were like a hiking boot,
Oh okay.
like a brown hiking boot.
And you're in Georgia.
Yeah, in Atlanta. So if you're ever,
That's an international airport.
It
That could
is.
have been like
it could have been anybody.
anybody. Not
But-
that a non-international airport could have anybody in it as well, but
Yeah.
yeah, that's embarrassing. Like, so there's a few times where like the volume's up on your phone
Yeah.
and you don't know it, and like, you know, not necessarily porn, but like I would like in class, I'd be in class,
Yeah.
and like, you know, I get a message or something, I go to check my text, but like it's open, it's on YouTube or something,
Mhm.
right, and the volume's cranked up.
All the way to the max.
Yeah, and it's just like, rah, like this is
Yes.
god awful, and you're like doing your phone, like all of a sudden you don't
That's
know how to
so
work.
embarrassing.
You don't know how to work a phone. Like
Yeah.
as soon as that happens,
Where's
you
the
just,
volume down
I
button?
know,
They removed it off
yeah,
of
yeah.
just like Apple removed the
You're-
headphone
yeah.
jack. There's no volume down.
you're like a chimpanzee trying to unlock the codes, right? And you're like just sitting there
I
smashing
know the
your
code,
phone.
it's just
yeah.
not going.
Yeah, you won't go down, and so and it's only like maybe half a second, but it's terrifying.
I think I've only had one distinct like experience where that happened, and that was Levi sent me like this weekend.
Yeah.
It happened this weekend. I was in a Chinese restaurant,
Okay,
and he sent me this thing, and it played like it was a reel. I had-
but it auto played,
but
right?
I opened it, and it auto played it out loud, and I was like, fucking hell! And it was like, I don't know. Where is it? Hold on, let me see if I can find it.
Well, that's the thing. It's like I don't like I am like super paranoid about my phone volume, and like I'm pretty conscious about like obviously if I'm going to the shitter and I'm worried about people hearing me poo, then I've got other issues.
You guys must be new to town, right?
New to town, but not new to the country. We just moved from
Oh yeah, I've seen this.
Yes.
But you're in an Asian
And
restaurant.
so he goes,
Yeah,
I was like sitting there.
yeah.
Yeah. In the
And he
restaurant.
felt
and it
this was
started-
the best time to send
started
that.
playing
yeah.
out loud because I didn't know what it was.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean like those situations it's only a split second, and like people around you probably don't even notice. You know?
Oh God, no! But it's way more embarrassing for yourself.
Right.
I didn't mean
You
to
like
interrupt
put
your
this
story, by the way.
that's okay. It wasn't a good story, but there's like those moments where you're just like, "Oh my god." The amount of like dread and terror that goes into your head in that
Mhm.
moment, and it's really just you that cares about it that much. Like everybody else just like might give you a glance, but that's it. Like they don't fucking care. They don't
Yeah.
care. Like if anything, they'd be like, "That's kind of rude," but like you turned it down.
Yeah.
It's not like
You
you're
can
over
just
there.
leave
It's not
it.
over there like you're on a call with the speakerphone. You know these people with
Yes.
the speakerphone. Like
Having the full loud conversation on an airplane before we take off. Like
that's another thing that kind of weirds me out is like you'll see people walking like in the neighborhood, right? Like out for a walk,
yeah.
and they've got the headphones on,
Okay.
but they've also got the phone, and they're holding the phone up to their face, like in conversation,
Are they FaceTiming?
possibly, but at the same time you're on a walk,
Yeah.
like you
Just-
should be paying attention to your surroundings
Yeah.
and not holding your phone to your face. I don't. And then they got the dogs pulling in one way, and they got the phone up in their face in the other way. I'm like,
The kids are TPing the
yeah, they're
neighborhood.
oh my god, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, I just don't. And then you see people driving like that too, driving with the
Saw
phone,
it today.
holding up the phone to their face, not on speaker, but like holding the phone to their face. I'm like, you're like one step away from doing it right. You're so close. Just try
Yeah.
a little harder.
Just like set it down
set it down.
and put
like,
it on,
either
a,
go-
on a
you-
wireless Bluetooth
Yeah,
system.
go either way. Go do the Bluetooth or set it down. But like holding it to your head, like holding on speaker to your mouth, like you literally
I do
rotate
that
it,
sometimes, but I don't
rotate it 45 degrees, and now you're just using the phone like it normally should be used. Like you're so fucking close.
Can we talk about how bad the quality of like regular phone calls is? Because it's never gotten any better.
No.
From
the
the time I-
5G Ultra.
I'm
blah,
30
blah, blah,
years
yeah.
old.
Yeah.
It's never gotten better unless you make Apple has like you can call on data, and then if you call through using the data, the quality
Right.
is a little bit better.
Right. So you mean like Wi-Fi calling and stuff like
Yeah.
that? Yeah. I think that they do that on purpose because you're doing Wi-Fi and not on their, on
Well,
their
you can do
network.
it on. You can still do the call on data
Right.
and get the good audio quality, but you
Mhm.
can also just call the phone number and then sound like you're calling from the 1920s.
Right. Like on a old wind-up phone.
Yes.
Yeah. So, like, I'll be honest with you. I prefer some situations where you do get the phone call.
Okay.
There's been situations where you're in a text back and forth, and then there's a certain point, there's an inflection point where you're like, this should have been a phone call. Like, I'm in too deep to make it a phone call, but the beginning of this, I should have recognized that this conversation
Yeah,
should have
required
been a phone call.
Sometimes, if I'm in the middle of something, I don't like phone calls because I feel like it really interrupts like
The flow.
the flow.
Yeah.
Like, so a text message can be like thought and forgot, right? And then a phone call is like,
Stop everything
I have to pull my full attention away from the thing that I'm working on right now
to talk to somebody.
to talk to you. And I'm not gonna lie, most of the time it's like kind of fucking useless.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It could have been a text.
Yeah, it could have just been like, and don't get me wrong, some things like if you're
There's-
planning
Yeah, there's certain
phone
situations.
calls,
Yep.
yeah, absolutely, call me. I'll talk on you at speakerphone and
Right.
point it at myself.
Yeah, exactly.
But-
Walk around the neighborhood with your dog.
Yeah.
Like an asshole.
You know, but sometimes it's like just fucking text me. Like,
Yeah. The problem with the texting for me is my fingers don't work that good.
you have a double
I
sized
have a massive phone, and I still have
Yes.
issues with, and most of the issues start with the birth of this phone for me. Like
Okay.
the first day I got it, it learns all your little
mistakes.
mistakes.
Yeah.
So like
I think you can actually clear that.
you
by the way.
can, I just don't take the time to do it.
Gotcha.
But like this is the word this is always spelled like THJS, or like shit is always turns to shot because like or
Yeah.
shot turns to shit either way. Like it's never what you want it to be.
The other day while I was typing, the Macs have autocorrect.
Yeah.
The other day while I was typing, I literally typed a sentence once,
Hmm.
and then it autocorrected a brand name from. So there's like the cameras have an HDMI cable.
Right.
And the HDMI cable is created by a brand called Condor Blue,
Okay.
spelled with a K.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's not
And
gonna
so
fly.
type Condor,
Yeah, that dog won't
hit
hunt.
space,
Yeah.
changed it back to Condor, lowercase, and I was like,
Son of a
okay, fuck.
bitch. Yeah.
I'm
go
not
all the way
gonna.
back.
I'm not gonna go move the mouse. My hands on the keyboard. Delete.
Yeah,
delete,
you can't.
delete,
Yeah, you can't just
Condor space.
does it again. I think at that point.
Condor space.
I think at that
Stop
point-
fucking changing it. If I've typed it 3 times and it's the only word I've typed,
Yeah.
stop changing it. I got it right.
I think what they're trying to do is to get you to use the quota for the mouse use is low, and so they're trying to get you to get back
I
into
don't-
the mouse.
I don't want
like,
to.
They want you to click on the front of the.
See,
of
but
the
then
thing.
even when you finish typing Condor, it takes a second before the auto suggest pops up that you've typed it wrong.
Uh-huh.
Which the auto suggest has a little X next to it.
Right.
You
And
have to click
you have
the
to-
X.
Yeah, well, there you go. You got the mouse again.
Again, we're using the mouse, not the keyboard. You have to
Yeah.
use the mouse to click the X so that it doesn't autocorrect a word to the thing I've typed 5 different times.
Would you prefer no autocorrect?
No.
Okay. So
I'm
this
just-
is the necessary evil that you live with.
Yes. because I can't spell for shit.
Yeah, no, exactly.
I am both illiterate and incapable
I play
of
a
counting
game.
with numbers.
I play a game when I'm typing like an email or something,
Yep.
and I get the red squiggly line, right?
Yep.
And I'm like, I won't just like right click on it and like
and fix it.
and fix
you
it.
guess it?
I sit there and I guess. I'll sit
Tim,
there
you're
and guess.
wasting so much
I know,
time.
I know, I'm aware. And I would sit there and I'll guess and I'll guess and I'll guess and I'm like, finally after like 5 tries, inquiry isn't always spelled with an e. So it's like,
Fuck, what I had one the other day that was like that too.
yeah. So like, but like, there's other words, aluminum.
Aluminium.
Yeah, like if you say it like that, it makes sense. But if
Yeah.
you say aluminum, then you're actually like, "Ooh,"
Aluminum.
yeah,
Where's the B?
yeah. So there's some words like that where I'm just like, I'll start or schedule. For the longest time, schedule. The word schedule was a pain in my ass because there's an H in there,
Yeah.
and I'm like, who's the asshole that put the fucking H? Like, why do we have the H in the schedule? There's
I used to mix up.
schedule.
I used to mix up loose
Yeah. Oh, loose and
lose.
loose. Yeah.
a lot, and then somebody explained it to me that you don't lose a goose,
Yeah.
and then I figured it out.
Yeah. Same thing with Polish and Polish.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had this debate. Like, I was working on a project for work, and it said the Polish rack, but I read it the Polish rack, and I'm like, only the Polish people get this rack. Like, what about the
Yeah.
rest of us? And so,
Polish, well known for making fine quality racks. Actually,
number 1 export Poland.
you can fact check me on that one. Tim. Check Snopes.
So one thing I wanted to talk about or I wanted to ask you, I wanted to get your opinion on it, is
I am well known for having Sam, high exporter of great opinions.
I wanted to ask you about like parking lots.
Okay.
And there's a few things about parking lots. One, like, do you take any sort of pride or sense of achievement when you park like perfectly between
Yes,
the lines?
big
That
time.
is a big thing for you.
Mhm.
So if you're not perfect though, you won't like
No,
obviously
I'll back up and pull
you'll
back in.
you'll so you like you correct yourself even if
The
you're
only, even if there's no other cars in the parking lot, I'll fix it.
So I'll park out in the middle of nowhere and come out and there'll be somebody parked next to me. Like, what the fuck?
That's me.
I know, bullshit. Do you do that for real?
Sometimes,
though?
yeah.
Just to piss them off because
Yeah.
they're like clearly don't want to be around
If it's
people.
okay, if it's an expensive car,
Yeah.
damn right, I'm
You're gonna
parking
park next to
it,
'em?
Yeah,
That's what I figured because we were
just
like,
so that they don't feel alone.
they parked out. They're loners. They don't want to be.
I know,
they
but
don't want, they don't want
I am
buddies.
telling them they're not alone.
Oh, regardless of what they want.
Yes.
Gotcha.
You
so-
like your fresh paint?
So I guess the next piece of this is like you've got the forward or back end with the parking.
Pull through, but I will.
Hold on,
pull through if I
pull
can.
through is a different topic. I'm talking about backing in to a spot. So let's like where you're parked right now
I'm
in
not
the parking
backing
lot.
in.
Right, where you're parked in the parking lot, there is nobody behind you. It's just a square spot, and you pulled forward into that spot.
Correct.
Is that how you park all
Yes.
the time?
Yep.
Okay.
I will even so I'm using our phones as examples here. I will even so if it's a like left turn in,
Yes.
I drive a longer vehicle now, a truck.
Yes.
You can't always nail it
Make
on
that.
your
Yeah, you
first
make
try.
that turn,
So I will I'll pull forward like this,
Oh,
and then
okay.
I'll back up,
and then you get
I'll
the
pull
better
forward.
angle.
Yes, I
Instead-
actually learned that from working at a dealership.
Instead
where
of,
we had
like-
lifts to pull into, and
Yeah.
you were like tight in between each car. You were like
Mhm.
mirror to mirror.
Yeah, sure.
So I learned that technique there, and now
instead
I
of doing
still
the
use
pull
it.
in, instead of doing the pull in crooked, back up and straighten out
Yeah.
within the spot.
Yes.
Gotcha.
I'm not gonna pull in crooked. That's not me.
So
Plus,
what
I feel like
about?
pulling in crooked is just way more difficult to fix than.
Yeah, so that was the next question was the pull through versus the stop short on the like if it's a park. So here's the tricky part, right?
Okay.
It's got to if you do the pull through, the lane, the lane that you're gonna pull out from, like so if you do a pull through, right?
Yep.
So now you're like basically kind of like backed in. You're in a backed in
Correct.
Scenario.
Yep.
But some of those parking spots are angled in a way that it's a one way. So when you pull out, you have to turn against the grain, so to speak.
No. Yeah. So you can't do a pull through on a parking lot with directional parking
Yeah.
because that's just dumb.
Now you're
you
now
are making it harder for yourself and everybody else around you.
Now everybody that's coming in, they're like, this guy either backed in like a fucking weirdo, like
Yeah.
at these angles that don't
actually-
make sense.
It drives me nuts when I see somebody going the wrong way in that parking lot, and I'm like,
The arrows are there.
you ignored the arrows. You've ignored every sign from every car pointed one direction.
right, and now you're
And now you've made a choice to inconvenience somebody coming through that lane. Like
Yeah.
that makes me mad.
Yeah, I mean, so I was at a parking lot the other day, and you know, surprisingly, because I live in America and they're everywhere.
Yeah.
And I did it's always a conversation when we're pulling into the parking lot. Is this a pull through situation or is this a stop short? And it all
Is this
depends
something
on
you discussed with Lisa?
yeah,
Okay.
and it all depends on what we're doing. If it's groceries, and we need to like put stuff in the trunk, then
Yep.
obviously you don't want the trunk. If
Sure,
it's
you
if you
cannot pull through if you're
and then-
packing groceries into the back.
Exactly. That's just common sense type thing, right? But then you see people do it, and you're like, the thought process just isn't there. They're not getting to that.
They're the
that
same
next-
people who are leaving their carts in the middle of lanes and
Yeah.
who attempted to park at the back of the parking lot by themselves that I
Oh.
park next to.
Oh, okay.
That's those people.
I definitely take my cart back. If you're inferring that I don't put my cart away,
No, I
that's-
had no inference that you were placing your cart anywhere other than. Do you actually leave your cart out?
no, I put it away.
Good.
Every time. But I also park close to the cart corral with the express desire of not having to walk any further than I have to.
Do you get the full size cart or the half size cart?
We get the half size cart because
Yep.
the half size cart limits you to how much you can spend.
Yeah.
But we always fill that motherfucker to the brim.
It's always heaving.
It's a failed attempt. We're like, we're not going to spend that much money this
Well,
time.
you do have kids and a family
That's true.
to support. I do the half size cart. Sometimes I'll just do the hand one.
Oh, the hand basket.
Yeah, but I'm real fucking lazy, man.
The hand baskets are
At festival, they don't have. Like, I'll be halfway through the store, and then you're like, man, I really need a hand basket.
I should have gone cart instead of hand basket.
And all
now-
those little end of aisle caps with
Yep.
the cart with the baskets are just empty.
yeah,
Every
and-
fucking
and,
time.
And now you're saddled with this fucking.
I'm carrying the burden of the world in my arms.
If only you had an animal to help carry these things around for you. while in
Like,
the
if you
store.
could pick an animal, would it be
Yeah, would it be a
would it be a
horse?
horse and why? We haven't talked about horses yet.
A pack mule. I want my pack mule.
Have we talked about? I feel like getting back. Like, people say, "Oh, just get back on the horse." Have we talked about that one?
getting back on the horse?
Yeah.
No, we haven't brought that one up.
Is
What
that
was the
another
other
one?
thing? Yeah, what was the other one that I said the other day or today? Even we were talking. I was talking about something, and there was
There's another horse-related one.
yeah. So from the mouth of the horse, from the
Horse's mouth.
the horse's mouth,
Yep.
from the horse's mouth, and like
Who do you think said that? Like, was there somebody one day who like
it's Mr. Ed. I
discovered
showed
a
you
talking
Mr.
horse?
Wilbur.
Yes. Yeah, but what like who first thought like maybe a horse could talk?
Producers in the 1950s.
Who were coked out of their mind? Yeah.
Yeah, that were like probably too close to like an atomic blast at some point, and there's like, and all their pencils have real lead in them. You know, like
Yes.
the list goes on and
Yeah.
on.
Yes,
So-
their cars had real lead in them too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And the paint on the walls and asbestos. I mean, fucking you name it. It's
God damn, no wonder why people died so early.
yeah, and then they look so haggard at 50 years old.
Yeah.
That's because they were
Did
getting
bullets, real lead.
rode hard and put away wet, which is kind of a horse
Is that
reference
a horse
too. but-
reference? Yeah.
I mean, it could go for. Is there ostrich racing?
How
Like-
many are there? There's got to be like a lot of ostrich references, right?
They put your head in the sand. You know, don't put your head in the sand.
Yeah.
That's the only one that really, and like they're fast. I mean, so anytime you talk about a bird running fast, it's kind of
Yeah.
you know.
That's an ostrich.
But a
reference.
cheetah, like everybody's like, oh, as fast as a cheetah. Like that's like because that's easy one.
Yeah, and everybody apparently likes cats.
It's true. Well, my cat scratched my foot the other day. I told Lisa, and she's like, wash it out. I'm like, I did that. And I was like, it's bleeding, right? And she's like, just be careful. You don't get, cat scratch fever. I'm like, oh, like the song.
We had a whole discussion about this the other day.
Yeah.
Wait, was that with you?
Maybe.
Where
I doubt it. I don't
or
remember
was it-
I don't remember
forget who
talking
was
about
the
it.
Discussion with. And there's a song that's always made me like mildly uncomfortable. Which is
we were talking about that.
Stranglehold, yeah.
Stranglehold, and then I was like,
there's so many like
Motley Crue has a bunch of songs that are just like have really rapey vibes to them. So you're
there's
like,
Motley Crue, but yeah.
yeah, but like,
But like, what was up with? I don't know. Like, is that something to be proud of? Like,
I got a
I'm gonna choke
I'm
my
gonna
wife.
Yeah.
She's. I wrote this song while thinking about you, honey.
There's
Got
like,
you in a stranglehold, baby.
there's fucking
Like, what?
Leonard Skinner does a song about like all he does was dance with this girl, and then next thing you know he's getting shot at.
Yeah, I
You
know that one too.
Yeah, and you're just like,
Give me 3 steps.
yeah, and you're like, what kind of bar are you hanging out at? Where like, there's number one, there's dancing happening.
Was it the guy's wife that you were dancing with, or was it
Just the
his
girl,
fucking daughter?
or yeah, his daughter, or just some girl
Are
that
you
he's
at a
like,
father-daughter dance, like just dancing with these young broads, or?
who knows? I mean, I'm not the one to answer these questions for you, but
Yeah, I think well,
that-
they got to answer it when they get to heaven, because some of these things might be a little
you
fucked.
think that they're
Yeah.
going to heaven after something?
No, actually, probably not. After hanging
That's
out
pretty-
on Epstein
pretty-
Island, yeah.
Pretty optimistic of you to think that. Yeah, there's a lot of songs that are kind of fucked up where they're, that like when you're a kid you hear the song, and then as you get older, it just like doesn't hold that same allure to it, and you're
Yeah.
like, you're singing along, and then there's a comedian that does a whole bit about this, but he's basically like, same with movies. You're like, you watch the movie when you're a kid, it had certain things about it where you're just like, oh,
A certain je ne sais quoi.
yeah, and then you get older and you rewatch it, and I think the movie he was talking about, he was talking about Grease, and there's a song where he's like, tell me more, like,
Yeah.
and she said no, like she's like, no, I'm good, but then he's like, no, I'm going to fuck you.
No, I'm not good yet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Tell
So
me
it's like-
more.
yeah.
Tell me more.
So it's like, yeah, you hear that stuff and you're just like, oh man. So then I'm like scared to go back and watch like older movies that I have like a nostalgic,
Yeah.
feeling for, and then you watch them and you're just
I
like,
feel
oh
like
man.
some of that stuff is taken out of context. There was that Christmas song that got like
Oh,
canceled.
yeah, that's the one where he's like trying to take her home, and
When she's
But
already
Baby, It's
she's
Cold
already
Outside.
Over.
Yeah.
And she like.
Baby It's Cold Outside is the name.
Yeah.
And it's like I just don't like the song because it's dumb, but like,
See, and I always got the vibes from that song that like she wanted to stay, but was scared of like what people thought of her or
Yeah.
would think of her.
I think there's a lot of you're reading a lot into it, but at the
Okay.
same time, I think that with the way that lyrics are written today, there's a lot more like double entendre type of
Today
stuff.
it would be straightforward. It'd be
Right.
like, baby,
I want to fuck.
baby, it's cold outside.
Yeah.
Take off your damn
Yeah,
pants.
show me them titties. So it's like,
I'm scared what people will think.
yeah,
So don't be a prude.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
yeah.
that would be today's lyrics.
But that
Drop
song,
it down, bitch. Shake your ass.
that fucking Little Wayne doing that song.
It's fucking cold outside. Take off your pants.
Yeah.
Like,
That song, I don't like it in regard. I'm not.
I don't think it's a good Christmas song. Period. Like
It doesn't make any damn sense, and
that it's cold outside. You live in Wisconsin.
it doesn't make any sense to me why they gotta sing about it.
Okay.
Christmas, me and Christmas have a pretty strained relationship, mostly because of people. The holiday itself, love it to death. I love
the
me.
holiday, Tim, I think, is circled around people.
I think that's where I run into trouble.
It's
the-
like strictly. It's not like a
It's
holiday
not
where
necessarily
you hang out with your
like-
coworkers
Yeah,
or
it's
you
not-
walk
it's
into
not-
the woods.
yeah, it's not
You're
like
specifically. It's a holiday specifically to spend time with family.
yeah, like, but we don't got to talk about it like 3 months in advance. Is my point.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like when we were in the craft store yesterday or the other day for my daughter. She needed she wanted to get a bracelet making thing,
cute.
and we're walking through trying to find the stuff, and there's like 3 or 4 aisles of Christmas stuff, and I'm like, literally one aisle over there's Halloween stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Halloween and Thanksgiving can kind of bleed into each other because they're both like an autumn themed, other than the skulls and stuff, but the
Mhm.
colors are kind of the same. But then it seems like every year it's getting closer to like October, like Halloween ends, and it's like the candy isn't even eaten yet, and we're already doing Christmas shit.
Mm-hmm.
And Thanksgiving's like a fart in the wind. Like nobody fucking even wants to.
Yeah.
And it drives me nuts because it's always like Christmas. Christmas comes with a lot of things, right? And so does Halloween too, for that matter. Like when you have kids in a house,
It gets expensive.
Halloween is a decorating time, and I don't like decorations. Mostly because I'm the one that has to put them up and
And then
then take them down,
Yep.
and like find a storage place for these things. And then it's the same thing for the Christmas stuff. And like I feel like the holidays, all I'm doing is climbing a ladder all the time and like hanging shit off the house or like putting shit in the yard or like doing something with the house to make it look cutesy.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's the holiday season for me is
I rent an apartment, so I don't have to do any of that shit.
exactly. But like
We still have Christmas decorations up.
well,
I
we
live
did
with
that.
a-
We did that last year, right? So
I live with
last year,
another man, so
yeah, last year we had lights up for Christmas.
yeah.
Blew right through January, right through
that's okay.
February, and got into March. And I'm like, okay, finally start because the reason was it was cold. It was real cold, and there was a few days in January where it wasn't terribly cold and it wasn't snowing, and the lights get frozen to the fucking
Yes.
gutters, right?
Anybody who doesn't live in Wisconsin that listens to this.
There's nobody. It's,
Yeah, okay, so
yeah,
fuck you.
Chris, when you get a house,
Chris,
that's what you deal with.
Yes.
So-
Listen up, Chris.
So, anyways, and then you like one year I was like taking the lights down; they were frozen up there, right? And I was like hell bent on getting these lights down, and I was pulling on it, and the fucking cord just broke. The light strand cord broke, and I'm like, well, fuck it, and I just left it. And then the next year I go up there to hang up more lights, bought a whole new strands of lights, and there's chunks of the old lights, like a 2-foot chunk of the old light, still kind of strapped, but on the backside of the
Yeah.
gutter. You couldn't see it from the outside. But when I got up there, I'm like, oh my God, it's like a graveyard
of
of old lights
yeah.
up here. Like I'm like chucking shit down, like but yeah, it's
Do you ever prepare ahead of time?
with the Christmas.
Yeah, with like buying Christmas lights, because they gouge the shit out of you during Christmas.
We
but
usually-
if you wait until just slightly afterwards. They put that shit 50% sale.
Yeah,
and
it's usually like the week after Thanksgiving is when we start like kind of figuring it out. That's the allotted time.
okay.
After Thanksgiving is the allotted time for Christmas decorations.
Okay.
We buy the tree, we go
Real
cut.
tree,
Yeah,
fake
yeah. We
tree?
go cut down the tree,
Wow. Okay.
and which is super fun. I get muddy, and it's a
Sappy.
great time for
And
me.
then it dies later.
Nah.
Yeah.
They have wreaths that are real big too, like as big as that. They're like a good
He's
like
looking at
3 foot, a 3 foot
He's looking
diameter.
at the Sears
Yeah.
Tower. Yeah.
Yeah. So this place that we go to has the tree that you could cut down and get a wreath for like $100.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not bad. And you throw it in the back of the truck. You
I'm
get
a
it home.
plastic tree guy.
Are you?
Yeah.
I mean, if I was in an apartment, I would be too. Because what do you like? Put lights around your fucking window and like
Yeah.
and a tree,
And
one little
then-
Charlie
and
Brown
then-
tree in the corner, and you're done.
Yeah. Change out the tablecloth on the table.
Yeah, from like stain to
to
Christmas.
To Christmas, yes. And then after Christmas, I put the stain one back
yeah,
on.
the stain one goes back on.
It doesn't go through the washer.
No, I bet it doesn't. I'm not surprised. by
I'm a
any means.
dude. What do you expect out of me? Like I'll put on good airs if I got company coming, but let me tell you,
Put on what?
airs.
Airs?
Yeah.
What's airs?
Like make it look nice.
That's what you put on good airs. That's a saying.
I think so.
Yeah,
Isn't
I
it?
feel like you just made that up. I don't know. I've never heard that before. Put on good airs. I feel like you're like putting deodorant on your balls or something. I don't know what else what you would call that. Put on the airs or good airs. Anyways, yeah, I don't do the Christmas. I like the holiday enough, but to put on airs, also give airs, put in airs, give yourself airs is an English language idiom and a colloquial phrase meant to describe a person who acts superior superior or one who behaves as if they're more important than others. So that's when you say you put on the airs. What do you got, like a smoker's jacket and a fucking
Yes.
a smoker's jacket and like a velvet suit, and you're
Yes.
like, yeah, with your fucking slippers. And
Tim, are you impressed with my vocab? because
little
it's
bit.
pretty
I mean,
deep.
that was I've never even heard that before. There's a game that we've been playing on our phones, me and Lisa. It's like kind of like a word find, like crossword puzzle game.
Yeah.
But like there's a saying on top, and then there's hints. There's like sentences below that use the same letters.
Okay.
And as you go down, it like you have to fill in the blanks, and as you fill in the blanks below, the phrase on top will start to fill in. It's a kind of cool game, but except for they use a lot of words that you never fucking heard before. And I'm
like
like,
airs.
yeah, like you
And
literally have to
ellipses.
Google it because like there's no fucking way you're guessing this shit. Like I don't know who they think the IQ of the people that are playing a game on their phone is,
I
but they're like it's Stanford right now, and I'm like not. I'm a Watkins college guard.
I played Words with Friends
Yeah,
like back when it was
that's
popular.
and that's the game where you would just drag letters on to make any.
No. All you do is you take the 7 available letters on your keyboard.
Right.
You swipe to the internet.
Oh, I see.
And then you type-
use the internet to figure out your words.
Yes, and then you score massive points. And
Yeah.
and
See,
the person you're
Lisa
playing
does
against
that.
goes.
Yeah, Lisa does that like naturally, like without the internet part. And
So
I'm
Lisa's smart.
Lisa's smart. And I'm like a 3-letter word guy.
Yeah, same.
I'm like 3 letters, 4. If I do
We should
4,
play sometime.
it would be the dumbest game ever. It'd be like
Like cat, bat,
cry, buy, lie.
10. God damn, you guys are. If you looked at our Words with Friends, it'd be.
Oh yeah, it would, yeah. My daughter would be like, stay in school.
Yes. Oh shit, Tim. I was gonna talk about when's your birthday?
That's November. I'm gonna give you the month. That's it.
Okay,
Yeah, November.
it's fine.
If people know me, they know my birthday. You don't know
When's
me.
mine?
Yours is like October,
No,
January,
no,
May,
no,
June.
no. 10. Dog, cat. It's in December.
December.
Yeah,
What? Towards the beginning or end?
like
Middle?
beginning.
Beginning.
But
That's good. There's a lot of people I know that. Well, not a lot of people. I've known a few people that have birthdays close to Christmas.
I'm not gonna.
They get fucked.
Yeah, that's me.
You get fucked.
Yeah, it's the same thing. If you have a December birthday,
You're fucked. Because
Dude.
everybody's just like, oh, we'll just save your birthday
Yes.
presents for the Christmas.
I'm gonna see you in a couple weeks anyways.
Yeah, you'll just get one
That's
present.
been my whole life. Yeah, or
get one present that
maybe you'll
represents
get a
2
present
presents.
and a card, and the card explains the fact that you're getting one present that is like 2.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah,
Or
does
or
that
even
happen to
January.
you?
No, mine's in November, the beginning of or like middle of November. So like, but it's like I haven't got like Lisa tries to get me nice stuff,
Yeah.
you know, but most of the time it's like whatever you want to get, just get it because
I'd rather just have cash. I'll be
Yeah,
honest.
well, she'll tell. She'll be like, she'll get me something thoughtful,
Mm-hmm.
which is real nice. But and I don't honestly like. There's not really many moments in my life now these days where I'm like, man, I really want that. Like, I like car parts, but I don't like fiend for them like I used to. It used to be like a scratch or an itch that couldn't be scratched.
You're
or
like,
the other way around.
fucking get me that skull shifter. I need the.
I just gotta have it.
the
I gotta have the.
sequenced blinkers.
I need the neon lights under my car
Let me
to
get
show
the-
everybody how cool
the
I
fake
am.
carbon fiber hood. Yeah.
Yeah. But nowadays I'm more like I have to sand cabinet doors and pay for people
You give
to
me
sell.
a Quick Trip gift card, man. If I don't have to think about paying for gas this
Yeah.
week, like,
That's you're golden on
oh
that.
my god,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, there's not much that like really gets me fired up. Like I got my PlayStation 5 a
Mhm.
couple years ago, and that was a big deal. But like, yeah, I don't know. I just don't get too excited about stuff
Yeah.
anymore. Like I used to be real excited about stuff, and now I'm just more like, I like to see my kids. I know it sounds corny, but I like to see the kids get happy.
Yeah.
But
I
they,
can understand that.
but they also don't get happy for a lot of stuff either anymore. So I'm like,
yeah.
so it's like, what the fuck, And like Lisa will get her something like off the like just not.
Did your kids get excited when they were like younger?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. They used to get fired up. Now they've kind
I
of.
think
like,
there was a problem in my family.
really. They didn't. You guys didn't get fired up about stuff.
We got Disney tickets once for Christmas,
Yeah.
and
Everybody's just like, oh, that's cool.
like, nice. When are we going?
Yeah. That's nice.
My parents were like,
It's like $4,000.
like, you can, no, I know. Well, in today's money,
Yeah.
it wasn't back then, but this is in like 2000 and 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, if I told the kids we're going to, like, Fiji or, like, the Bahamas.
When?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to a beach. First thing my daughter would say is, do they have a pool? And I'm like, it's a fucking island in the middle of the fucking ocean, surrounded by...
It's the opposite of a pool. You're lucky
Right.
we have a place to
Yeah,
sleep.
exactly. And then the second thing
Large
they would
enough
ask
wave
is...
would take all that away.
Yeah, the second thing they would ask is, what is there to do there? Are we going to ride jet skis? Are we going to get a boat? Are we going to blah, 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 blah. And then, like, by the end of the conversation, you're so deflated by the fact that, like,
Your kids sound kind of needy.
they're normal kids, man. Like, that's what kids do.
Okay.
They're just, like, they find the string and they pull on it until you're like,
See, that's the thing.
I'm fucking done.
All right, Tim, you can play this for your kids.
Okay,
Kids, when you get older, it's not about what you can do when you get to the island.
right.
Rather, you get to the island and you just find something to do.
Right. It's the
and-
experience
and
of...
entertain yourself.
And half the time, just the experience of getting to the island is a fucking adventure in its own.
Yeah. And so, kids, you're going to Fiji.
We're not going to Fiji.
They have a bottling plant
we're,
there.
we're definitely not
where
going
the
to Fiji.
water gets made.
Yeah. Yeah, no. It's we're not doing that. We have talked about going overseas. My son wants to go to Spain because he likes Barcelona, the soccer / football team.
So you
Yeah.
go to a game.
So yeah, he wants to go to a game and do all that stuff. I get it. It's like kind of destination vacation type of thing. Everything has a label now. It used to just be like, we're gonna go to Spain and check out a game, but now it's a destination vacation. That's what it's all labeled and like.
I mean, every vacation is a destination vacation because you're.
Unless you're on a cruise ship.
Well, then you're on a wandering vacation. All right, Tim, we got to wrap.
Are we done?
We're 50 minutes in, and
Oh,
also
shit.
I got to shit my pants. So,
Really?
yeah.
I'm glad you told me.
So, this
And
is
I'm
it.
glad you weren't like hotboxing this room either.
No, but I'm about to go destroy a bathroom and keep my foot up.
Which
against it.
bathroom are you going to so I don't go to the same one?